This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all, this
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. I'm Erica in for Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That was Tori's shady moment. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
No one tell him. I love you, Jeff.
Shady Tori.
Totally.
It's okay because he would have had the same response.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's good for the goose.
Thank you.
It's good for the gander.
Thank you, Cobb.
So let's get into it because Amy Robach and TJ Holmes have broken their silence surrounding their controversial relationship. The couple recently made their red carpet debut at the iHeartRadio Jingle Ball, and today they launched their podcast. They talked about how they were outed for having a secret relationship by the tabloids last year. At the time, you'll remember, Amy was married to actor Andrew Shue, but says she had already filed for divorce when the scandal broke. And TJ Holmes said he had already separated from his wife. In their podcast, Amy says she had to do a welfare check on TJ the day that they were taken off the air at GMA3. Have a listen.
I saw you and you were just splayed out on your bed, and I ran to you. I said, TJ, and you didn't move. And I remember it was the most awful thing, having to touch your body to see if you were warm.
Yeah, that was the night, but the day was essentially me getting off work at 11 a.m. and I immediately started pounding vodka, and I didn't stop for several hours. And then I took who knows how many weed edibles, and that's how I ended up in the state I was in.
Ooh, so Amy said, despite everything, she and TJ are still going strong. Listen.
Relationships are hard, they're messy, they're not perfect, but we have fought for love, and I can say that I've never been happier. I am with my best friend.
So what do y'all think about this? Because Al, you've had some reactions.
I did. I did.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Well, I didn't know that I wasn't on mute during the morning call. And I did have a reaction to the vodka and gummies. You know, I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad he's okay. And I'm not making light of that. You know, drinking a lot of vodka could be bad on its own, but, you know, I'm glad he's okay. As for just the situation, I really liked what she said at the end. What is happening? Did a magical being
That's amazing. A portal opened.
Yeah, I did like what she said because it's uncomfortable to talk about, but love is messy. And this isn't a Lifetime movie. And I wish that it was always nice and pretty and neat and all your friends are cool with it. But it appears, Erica, that their relationship with their two respective partners at the time was over. Whether somebody said the papers were in or not, that it's not looking great. To find somebody at a later age in your life that you were like, I think we're both happy here, and to let those two other people go, they might not be happy about it at the time. But what's the alternative, Steph? Stay in those two broken relationships. It'll be ugly, let people talk. But as the years go on and they stay together, they'll at least have their happiness and give their respective partners a chance to go find happiness, even if they still resent them.
I kind of want to push back just a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a little cringy to me. Andrew Shue, her ex, came out and said this really was painful to me and the children. We really were blindsided by this. She's saying
I don't
that
believe
they knew.
that.
But why believe her?
How could
not
you
him?
be in a relationship with a person who's about to walk out the door and you have no
You
idea?
don't think that's happened to many, many hundreds of millions of people?
I think that there can be
very
signs.
naively,
I
you
think
think the
that you can ignore signs. But I think it's very rare.
She walked out on that family, and now they're sort of like having
But
this
she
moment.
said she had papers ready.
She said that.
Yeah, but
He's
I mean,
clearly
hey, court
disagreeing.
papers can't lie if she's got them and if she's willing
Well,
to say
she's saying they were
that.
separated and their papers
she
on
said
the
should
way.
be filed.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know about parading this love in front of. I get it that they're public figures. It just is like we did this, and then on the red carpet they're all this, and then they're talking. It just feels a little bit like maybe just take it
So
out.
how long? What's the amount of time that you would like for them to be unhappy?
Can't they just not talk about their Can't they talk about something else?
But I think they have
But
to
that's all
address
people
those
care about.
things.
Okay.
That's not
I
I think
just feel like they're just dragging us more and more into
I
it,
think
and
they're
I don't
trying
care.
to explain their story.
I want out of this group chat. I got it. They're together. They broke up their family. Let's move on. I sort of want out of it. Does that make sense?
No, of course it makes sense. And I think a lot of people will feel exactly the same way, Tori. And I think it's a very normal, visceral reaction to something that's unpleasant. Like
Right.
Like they said, relationships are messy. It's not black and white. It's not straightforward. Otherwise, everyone would be.
I just don't need the podcast and the.
No, but I think where else are they going to tell their story, Tori?
They already have, I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I
they're
think
entitled
more
to
than
it.
telling
Maybe
their story, I think keeping relevance and also a stream of income is also
Exactly.
important at this point, too.
Yeah, they're public
because,
figures.
They've lost all their salary.
That was probably a hard pill to swallow. But
Child support and all of that. Yeah.
Well, when you don't have a job.
That's
That's
that
hard.
whole thing.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie Foxx made his first public event appearance since he experienced a medical emergency in April. He received an award at the Critics' Choice Association celebration of cinema and television and opened up about his health. Watch.
I wouldn't wish what I went through on my worst enemy, because it's tough. When it's almost over, when you see the tunnel. I saw the tunnel, I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel, so I don't know where I was going. I'm going to the right place.
Leave it to Jamie Foxx to always bring it back. He still has not disclosed what he suffered from, but he thanked his sister and daughter for keeping things private. So, we keep saying we don't know. Do we need to know? The man is here. That seems to be enough for me.
Yeah, my mom has a big illness right now. I'm not sharing all of it with you guys. I asked for prayers. I asked for things, but I don't want to get into the deep, disgusting, horrible parts of it. Part of him, I think, is his image, his brand. Strong, betting guy. There's a sense there that if you explain the weakness and all that went through, it's probably just not the path he chooses to emote on. He wants to emote on another way. None of this is our business. Absolutely none of it. So I give him all of his privacy. All of it.
What do you think, Steph?
So a long time ago, 2015, 2016, I was really, really, really ill. And I had a very bad diagnosis, and I didn't even tell my parents until it was really at the cut-off crucial point, because I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want people's sympathy. I didn't want people
the pity,
around me acting weird and different. I just didn't. For me, that wasn't the best way forward. And looking back now, I probably could have done with a bit more support. But I understand that sometimes you just don't want to. You want to deal with it. You just want to condense it. You don't want it to be a thing that everywhere you go, that's what people ask and talk to you about. You don't want that.
It's your brand now, right?
Well, yeah, I just didn't want it. I just wanted to deal with it and move on. And I'm lucky to be able to do that, and so is obviously he. But I think it's a very personal thing.
Yeah. Well, you want it to be your choice, and I think we can respect that.
And
so
shout out to the people around him for keeping it that way.
Good
That's
team.
a real circle.
Yes.
You said that from the beginning.
Good team. Good team.
Coming up on DBL, our interview with Virgin River star Alexandra Breckenridge. What's it like working with some of the biggest heartthrobs on TV? And a wild dinosaur look on the red carpet had heads turning. Steph is breaking down all the looks from the British Fashion Awards.
Diagnosis I want to talk about that we can discuss, because I completely agree. Everyone agrees here. Jamie Foxx, your health is your privacy. Nobody's business. My senior dog, I don't know if any of you guys have senior dogs, is dealing with panting, some incontinence, and excessive drinking water, and really hungry. So anyway, if any of you are dealing with that, I got her tested, and they're looking for something called Cushings. It's incredibly common. It's in 70% of older dogs. I'm just giving a shout out PSA if you are. You can do a test for it where you drop off the dog, they take a cortisol test, give her some cortisol, and an hour or two later test again, and it can really change. And there's actually management, treatment, and this all can be better. So if you're really oh man, my dog's not doing well, maybe look at Cushings or something like that if you're interested. It's something you might not know if you're not a nerd like me, but it's a helpful thing if you're a dog or pet owner. Cats can also get it.
What is it, Tori?
Basically, it's she's filled with cortisol. Filled with it. So imagine
What is exactly
cortisol
that
is like adrenaline. So imagine you're just pumped, filled with cortisol. So all day she's like this.
Like she's just run a marathon.
Yeah, and and it's so uncomfortable, and she's stressed. And the vet said,
I would think it put stress on your heart.
yeah, so her heart's bad, and she's eating a lot because she's stressed and drinking and peeing. So
Well, she probably just trying to work out like what's going to soothe
That's
it.
how they said it is. So anyway, Cushings, look it up if
What
you're
do you
dealing
do
with
for
that.
that?
There's a pill,
Oh.
and it stops the cortisol. But it's just so helpful to know these things because otherwise you're like, oh God,
All right.
yeah,
Who would have known? Do humans get it?
yeah. It's
So it's just like a chemical.
Yeah, it's a hyper cortisone situation. Okay.
Welcome back to DBL. The stars came out for the British Fashion Awards in London.
I was there.
Steph, tell us all about it. No, you were not, Al.
All right, let's have a little look at some of the beauties on the red carpet. We've got Gwyneth Paltrow looking elegant in this vintage red Valentino.
Oh wow,
gown.
red for Gwyneth.
Love
She
it.
looks good.
Yeah.
Amal Clooney looking stunning in a glittery rose gold Versace dress. I mean, she can do
Sunset.
no wrong.
No.
She's always just stunning. And then we've got Lisa Rinna went for a more dramatic look in black.
Oh.
Bit punky.
Very punky.
Sam Smith rocked these black sky-high platform
So
boots
cool.
and a mini skirt. And then we've got Kate Moss. She wore this long dress with a long billowy sleeve and a bit of a slit. But a lot of people were talking about singer Rita Ora. She had this prosthetic spine on her back. She said it took her about 3 hours to attach it.
That's hot, but how do you
I-
sit down?
I
don't think you do here.
No, you're perching.
You're a dinosaur. You don't
Yes,
sit.
get a stool.
And then Pamela Anderson, she wore this winter white suit. It was cream, this gorgeous sweater, and she decided to go makeup free once again. So what do we think, guys?
I really like the prosthetic, and I think we're going to start to see more prosthetics. I just wish I did a deep dive. I wish it was a little cleaner.
Yes.
I thought you could see it be a little patchy in the
a little
back.
bit. So I'll be honest. So I know the girl who did it is Amaya French. She's absolutely fabulous. She's actually one of the top makeup artists in the world. She works on everyone, Rihanna, Beyonce. But I don't know if it was someone on a team who did it or not because I don't. I mean, she had a name on it, but I don't think she did it.
Yeah, interesting.
Al, what do you think about the makeup free?
I keep thinking about that, Erica. I do. And no,
I'm gonna bounce it back to you.
I was over here thinking about it because obviously her choice, makeup free if you want to. But this is an event where people get dressed up.
Yeah.
And no different than if there was a star that was like, we've done it where, we did a story a couple months back where some of the guys weren't kind of matching their
Yeah, Bieber,
female
remember?
compatriots. And we were just like, hey, this is an event where you don't put on Chucks unless it's part of an outfit. Because when you're at the Met or you're something, you're one of 40 people on the planet that's been invited to go to this event. And if you want to act like you're over it, that's cool. I'm not saying she's doing that. I'm just saying when there's an event to get glammed up and you are invited to that event, if you don't want to get glammed up, I don't know if going completely counter is the way that I would go, but her choice.
What do you think?
I mean, I agree with you. I think, but a part of it too, in order to do something like that, you have to celebrate one of two privileges. Either you have a socioeconomic privilege or you have a pretty privilege. And at the end of the day, a lot of us are just being invited to some of these upper echelon events. And the expectation is that you show up at your absolute most glam. I'm not saying that's your best. I'm saying that it's a red carpet and the expectation is glam. So to each their own, and clearly she still gets invited to these things, but I do think it comes from a privileged position to be able to show up somewhere not putting forth the same effort that everyone else who's there is doing.
I just find that a bit ironic because when it was Alicia Keys, we were all celebrating her. So why
First
not
of
for
all, when it
Pamela
was Alicia
Anderson?
Keys, we were talking about a movement on her terms when she was performing for her event.
Like her tour.
You're talking about something that you're invited to.
But she did that for award ceremonies too.
Correct. Alicia Keys also has pretty privilege. So I'm saying it's not, to me, I'm not saying that it's disparaging anyone. I'm simply saying that in order for some certain people, in order to get access to these events and these spaces, then you need to do the most in order to be there, when other people can just show up. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I also think it's about the context of how you were raised and how you were supposed to show up to places.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And I do think when you look at everyone else and the amount of effort, whether it's the stylist, the hair, the makeup, whatever, the effort is extraordinary. But I do think, like Al said, when there's so limited people that are invited, it's important to have that representation for people that don't want to wear makeup, and that should be okay too.
We'll be right back.
It would be great to be doing this on my couch in my PJs, but like many of us, I have to come into the office and present these verifies to you in the studio. But there are plenty of work from home jobs out there. You just need to make sure they are real. So to help us get the facts, we went to Tom Bartholomew, president of the Better Business Bureau here in Charlotte, and the Federal Trade Commission. A Pew Research study found this year 35% of workers are remote. To find these jobs, many people take to websites that showcase job openings, but some open positions are just too good to be true.
Unfortunately, that's really opened a door for scammers to take advantage of those situations at the same time.
Bartholomew says it starts like any job posting. You apply, go through interviews, get the job, and that's where it all starts.
The next thing you know, you're saying, okay, part of the hiring process, we need to get your tax information, so we need your social security number.
The Federal Trade Commission says nannies, caregivers, virtual personal assistants, and mystery shoppers are just some of the job listing scammers like to put out there. The best thing to do to make sure a job listing is real, do your research.
2 minutes of research. That's really all it takes to find that company name that they're claiming to be a part of, and do some research on that. Do a BBB search, do a Google search, and put /scam.
There are also government websites that post legit job listings. We have those listed on our website, WCNC.com. With your Verify Fact Check, I'm Megan Bragg.
Welcome back to DBL. It's one of Netflix's hottest shows that constantly leaves you on the edge of your seat. Earlier, we chatted with Virgin River star Alexandra Breckenridge. Take a look at that. Please welcome to the show, Alexandra Breckenridge.
Hi. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's jump right in, Alexandra. You play a nurse on Virgin River, and you also played one on This Is Us. So I got to ask you two questions. One, did you ever use in real life, I'm not a nurse, but I play one on TV? And two, did you ever really want to get into medicine?
Absolutely. I've said that line. When I'm giving medical advice that I have no business giving, I'm like, well, I play a nurse on television, so.
Yes.
And no, I'm a little too squeamish, I think, for real medicine. I think I would have a hard time if anyone was, in pain in front of me. It would be very difficult for me.
Me too. I'm with you. Yeah.
We're all in alignment.
Yes.
I have to bring this up because I think, very important for a lot of people who watch your show. One of the storylines in Virgin River is Mel's struggle with infertility. That's not something that we see a lot on TV. How have the fans been responding?
The people that I have interacted with seem to be, affected by the storyline. Certainly the people that I have known that have struggled with infertility really love the fact that we are showing that side on television, where so often writers choose to go the avenue of the miracle baby. And we decided to, tell a real story about a woman that doesn't, she doesn't end up with her miracle baby.
Were you an outdoorsy person before this series?
Actually, my dad used to take me and my brothers camping when I was little. I grew up living with my mother, but my father grew up camping with his mother, and so we would always take an RV out, weekends in the summer and whatnot. And so, yes, I spent a lot of time in Darien, Connecticut, in my, in the backyard in the woods.
All right, now your on-screen loves are incredibly good looking. I mean, really. We got Jack on Virgin River.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin on This Is Us. Huh? What does your husband Casey think of these matchups, and does Casey ever get a little a little jealous?
Actually, luckily he doesn't. If he does get jealous, he's definitely not showing it.
Good for him.
I've made it very clear that my job it's a job.
Right.
I mean, I am experiencing emotional aspects of my character as I play her, but when I leave that world, I leave that world. It's not me necessarily. Right. So, I think he gets it. I think he probably prefers that I'm matched with attractive men.
Good for him.
Ooh, I like
that.
The last look was kind of like, I hope so.
I'm going with that.
Yeah,
I
like it.
It's good.
That was a good answer.
Good one.
All right, real quickly, season 5, part 2 of Virgin River is a holiday special. So we have to ask you, what holiday traditions do you and your family have?
So we always do the Christmas tree with the family, but this year, because my kids, I have so many Christmas ornaments that they just throw everything on there sort of haphazardly.
Yep.
And so I've got them their own Christmas tree.
Smart.
In the playroom, and now Mommy gets to have her own Christmas tree.
The grown-up.
That is a great idea.
That's brilliant because they
really
decorate one area. What a pleasure having you, DBL Nation. You can check out season 5, part 2 of Virgin River on Netflix now. Alexandra, congratulations on all your success.
Fantastic
Clearly well
stuff.
deserved. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
More than 2.5 million people viewed this post by conservative talk show host Charlie Kirk about a mystery pneumonia affecting kids called white lung syndrome. Verify received questions from our viewers about related headlines warning of this mysterious new illness. So, let's verify. Is there a new illness spreading in the U.S. called white lung syndrome? Our sources are the Warren County, Ohio Health District, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Shira Doron, Chief Infection Control Officer at Tufts Medicine, and Dr. Pyle Coley, an Assistant Clinical Professor of Medicine at the University of Colorado. Doron told Verify white lung syndrome is not an official medical diagnosis, calling it a fake term. People are likely using it to describe the white shading that appears on chest x-rays of people with pneumonia. Coley explained the white areas seen on x-rays just indicate there's fluid in the lungs, a common sign of pneumonia, and not necessarily a new illness.
Any kind of pneumonia, viral or bacterial, can result in white lung.
In his viral post, Kirk cited a pediatric pneumonia outbreak in Warren County, Ohio, near Cincinnati, as proof of the new disease. But health officials there say they don't believe the increase in cases is tied to a new respiratory virus, but rather a large uptick in the number of typical pediatric pneumonia cases. So, no, there is not a new illness called white lung syndrome spreading in the U.S. A spokesperson for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention told Verify that on a national scale, it's seeing the typical number of cases and types of pneumonia for this time of year. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis. For many of us, winter weather means snow that needs to be cleared. You may have seen claims online that shoveling snow can increase your risk of suffering a heart attack. But is that really the case? Let's verify. Are you at an increased risk of a heart attack while shoveling snow? Our sources are the American Heart Association, the Cleveland Clinic, and cardiologist Dr. Mark Samsky. Anyone who shoveled snow knows it's hard work, and all of our sources say it could quickly bring up your heart to its maximum rate.
When the heart's not primed to handle that blood pressure or the increase in heart rate, it can do some damage and as a result of the strain on the heart.
That strain could increase anyone's risk of a heart attack, but especially for people with heart conditions or who are older than 45 and may have an undiagnosed heart condition, have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or diabetes, because they're at an increased risk of heart problems. Our sources recommend pacing yourself when shoveling snow. This may mean shoveling periodically during the storm instead of doing it all once the storm is over, taking frequent breaks, and staying hydrated to maintain a healthy blood pressure. So, yes, you are at an increased risk of a heart attack while shoveling snow. Using a snowblower is less intense than shoveling, but it can also be very heavy to push, which means it can still increase your risk of a heart attack. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out.
Steph, what do you have for us today? I got to get holiday shopping.
This is so handy. It is the Sharp Image laptop desk with storage and Qi charging.
Whoa.
You simply flip it open, adjust the stands to create a portable desk wherever you are.
Wow.
Normally, it's $80, Tori.
Still, that's really not bad.
We have got it for $29.99. That is saving 63%.
That's brilliant. I could take that to the coffee shop or work at home.
And then check out this for a bit of fun in the shower, Tori.
Hello.
It's the iJoy Aqua IPX 4 splash proof speaker. The speaker connects to Bluetooth and it's water resistant. It's portable, it's so lightweight. Now, doorbuster deals are always really popular, so we've got a limit on this of 3 per customer. Normally, this is $25.
If there's a limit, I know it's a good price.
Tori, we've got it for $5.
Stop.
That's saving 80%.
What a good stocking stuffer for everyone.
Now, check out this as well, Tori. This is so handy. It's the 2-pack Sienna Carbon Fiber Minimalist RFID wallet.
Whoa.
This wallet will easily hold up to 12 cards. Plus, it has a money clip for cash.
Whoa.
Normally, it's $50.
Okay.
We've got a 2-pack for $17.99. That's saving 64%.
When you can't figure out the husbands and the boyfriends and the brothers, you get them this.
Now this, Tori, is my deal of the day because it's so exciting. It's the Diamond Muse half-carat TW Diamond flower bracelet in sterling silver.
Hello.
It's timeless. It features half a carat of shining real diamonds.
Good Lord.
Also, this is available in very limited quantities. This is going to sell out, you guys, so get it while you can. Normally, $305.
I mean, they're diamonds, y'all. Half a carat, we get it.
We have got it for $59.99. That's saving 80%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at truly the lowest prices. Or just scan that QR code right on screen. It will take you directly to all these products on Morning Save's website. Steph, thank you so much.
DBL is new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.
Appreciate y'all.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.